and what to do about your immigration status. And a presentation by this American Civil Liberties Union. The meeting is this Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. at the University Art Gallery in Williams Hall. There are students here on campus who are worried about what will happen to them. They include so-called dreamers, those young people who were brought to this country as young children.
President Obama allowed them to stay under the DACA program, delayed action for child arrivals. But as Jimena Tapia reports, they're unsure what will happen now that he's out of office.
She wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes to bed at 10 p.m. Between classes, clinicals for nursing school, and work, her days are very long and tiring, but she says it's what she loves to do. I am talking about a 24-year-old nursing student whose identity will stay anonymous at her request. She came to the United States from Mexico at a young age.
I was 12, I think. Yes, I was in 7th grade.
She remembers the feeling of knowing that she was crossing the border illegally and that she would never go back.
And it was really scary, knowing that I could lose everything.
She says she considers this country her home, so much that when she tells others that she is an undocumented immigrant, they can't believe it.
My best friend, when I told him, he did not believe me for a while. It was 2 or 3 days that he was like, "Are you serious? Are you serious? You're not a citizen?" Because I've been here most of my life.
Although she is undocumented, she has 2 legal jobs. This would not be possible without the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. During his campaign, Donald Trump promised to remove the DACA program. Doing so would leave this student, as well as many others, with an unsure future.
I have no attachment to Mexico. If they take off the DACA, I won't be able to work, and I'm probably gonna have to go back.
So now she's in limbo, working hard to finish her education, but not sure if the political situation in the United States will let her. During a press conference last Thursday, President Trump said that DACA is a very difficult subject for him and that he will deal with it with heart. Jimena Tapia, NEWS22.
It sure was a nice day today.
It was really warm. I was actually able to bring up my shorts. I think Selena has more for first look at weather.
Thanks, guys. We're going to take a look at our current conditions right now. We're looking at some clear skies with a temperature at 64 degrees. We have winds coming in from the southwest at 5 miles per hour. Our humidity sits at 25% and our dew point at 34 degrees. Our barometer at 30.10 inches and it's steady. Today we reached a high of 71 degrees, which is well above our average. We should be at 65. Our low for this morning was 40 degrees. We set some record temperatures in 1986 with a high of 78 degrees and in 1964 with a low of 50. We didn't see any rain today, so our yearly rain does still sit at 2.13 inches. That's all I have right now for your current conditions. Now back to the desk for more news.
Las Cruces City Councilors have okayed a statement of opposition against President Trump's border wall today. In a 6-1 vote, councilors passed a resolution put forward by Mayor Pro Tem Greg Smith opposing a wall against southern Doña Ana County. Several city councilors said a wall isn't the correct approach to the immigration issue. Three U.S. senators are now looking over what they learned last week on a trip to Mexico City and El Paso.
As NEWS22 Blas Maestra reports, they say what they learned convinces them that President Trump's border wall is a very bad idea.
The 3 Democratic senators finished their fact-finding trip in El Paso. They wanted to see firsthand how border security is implemented. They say the best way to improve security is to work with Mexico because much of the illegal immigration comes from south of Mexico.
A piece of that is working in close partnership with Mexico in regard to the migration out of Central America.
Senators from the Foreign Affairs Committee have crossed back into the U.S. During their news conference earlier, they spoke about deportation and Donald Trump's wall. They say this border region proves how intertwined the two countries are and that the wall would just be a waste of money.
It jeopardizes our relationship with Mexico, which is critically important. We have a relationship, we saw that over and over again, how law enforcement works together, local governments work together, and the way that the president has portrayed this wall makes it more challenging for that relationship to continue.
They say better electronic surveillance would be less expensive but more effective. And now that the president has ordered a more aggressive deportation policy, Massachusetts Senator Edward Markey says innocent people are living in fear.
It's insensitive, it's immoral, it should not happen. These are innocent children in our country, and they are now beginning a process of opening those people up for deportation.
The senators will now head back to Washington, D.C., hoping to convince their colleagues that cooperation is the correct policy to follow. For NEWS22, I'm Blas Maestas.
The U.S. Supreme Court is divided on a case that left a Mexican teen dead. In 2010, border agent Jesus Mesa shot and killed 15-year-old Sergio Adrian Hernandez Huerta from across the border. Hernandez and some friends had been playing on the border and were allegedly throwing rocks at Border Patrol agents. The dead boy's family wants to sue the agent, and now the Supreme Court must decide if they'll be allowed to. Justices are split on the issue.
Catholic bishops around the nation are denouncing a skeletal folk saint known as La Santa Muerta. Bishops like El Paso's Mark Seitz and Santa Fe Archbishop John Webster have urged Catholics to refrain from worshiping Santa Muerta. Webster called Santa Muerta not a saint and nothing good will come from it. Santa Muerta is popular among drug cartels and has been associated with mainly non-Latinos and not involved with organized religion.
Las Cruces police say a robbery at a Subway restaurant was an inside job. Last Friday morning, 2 suspects entered the Subway on Utah Street and robbed the store with a knife. The 2 suspects were relatives of the 26-year-old employee who was in the store at the time. The employee was fired and must pay back damages to the walk-in freezer, and fees to rekey the store charges are still pending. A Las Cruces man is sitting in jail on child abuse charges. LCPD arrested the 18-year-old Christopher Jaques on 2 counts of child abuse that caused bodily harm. Police received a call on February 13 to Mojave Drive. The 2-month-old infant was taken to the hospital to be treated for 3 fractured ribs and multiple bruises. Detectives say Jaques shook the infant on 2 separate occasions. He's in the Doña Ana County Jail on a $50,000 bond.
Stay tuned. Selena will be back next with your national forecast.
And later, drones might become banned around airports and power plants. More on that when NEWS22 continues.
At a recent KRWG coffee visit, we talked with KRWG fans about why they value public media.
And the opportunity for people to call in and share their views is really valuable and an important part of community building.
My entire time in Las Cruces, I have been a PBS NPR girl.
I want everybody to be able to hear all the programs that I enjoy.
The best in radio, television, and online programming is only possible with your support. Become a member online at krwg.org or call 1-888-922-5794. Thank you. The KRWG Music Spotlight is on the lookout for local musicians with original music to tape a mini concert at KRWG TV. Email us a link to your music. The address is feedback@nmsu.edu. And be sure to watch the KRWG Music Spotlight in the television section at krwg.org. More local programming from KRWG Las Cruces.
Welcome back. You're watching NEWS22 Tuesday,
where news matters. A judge says Doña Ana County must pay an Alamogordo-based pet advocacy group $90,000. Animal Village, New Mexico requested public records from the county, but the county failed to provide them, and that's a violation of the law. The group was awarded costs, actual damages, and attorney fees, as called for by the Records Act in instances of noncompliance. After various budget cuts to education, the Democrats and New Mexico legislature have approved a $6.1 billion budget plan. The plan is designed to increase classroom spending, shore up judicial spending, and have incentives for job trainings and business expansions. Governor Susana Martinez says the bill is a political play. She continues to reject any increase in revenue.
The New Mexico House of Representatives passed a bill that will give New Mexico teachers protection. House Bill 241, also known as Teachers Are Human Too, bill would allow teachers 10 days of sick leave and use all of their personal days without having a negative impact on evaluations. Teachers would have to provide a doctor's note 3 days after they use a sick day. A parent of the overall evaluation in 2016 was based on attendance. And lawmakers want to bring some regulations on drones. They're considering a bill to prohibit drones from flying within 500 feet of power plants, refineries, and airports. Violators would be charged with a misdemeanor. Other facilities that may be protected from drones would be government buildings and law enforcement and military bases. The bill is sponsored by Senator Greg Baca of Berlin.
And lawmakers are also considering a law that would require background checks for firearm sales. Supporters of the bill say that the law will make it harder for criminals to purchase firearms. Opponents claim the law will not prevent criminals from purchasing firearms. The bill is still being debated. The legislature is also taking a look at the oil and gas industry. They're looking at a bill that would increase penalties for companies that violate environmental laws. Right now, the state can charge only $1,000 a day for violations. The new law would increase it to $10,000 a day. Texas allows daily penalties of $10,000 and Colorado can charge $15,000.
The Judiciary Committee on Monday passed the Health Security Act and is now moving on to the full House of Representatives for a final vote. The bill establishes necessary systems to keep health care affordable and accessible. The bill was placed in response to President Trump's threat to appeal Obamacare. Representatives Robert Gonzalez released a statement stating that it's time to move forward to ensure New Mexicans a future for health care.
It may be getting warmer here, but I wonder how it's looking in other parts of the country.
Selena has more on your nationalweather.gov forecast.
Thanks, guys. So we're going to look at temperatures around the nation right now. So as you can see that in places like Seattle, they're experiencing some rain with a temperature at 47 degrees, Salt Lake City at 61 degrees, Albuquerque at 69, El Paso at 76. If you look on the other side of the nation, Boston is at 41 degrees, Charlotte at 67, New Orleans at 69, and Miami at 77. If you go ahead and take a look at our next map, you can see that Florida is getting a bit of rain that is much needed. In certain parts of Florida, like Fort Myers, they have been experiencing a bit of a drought, so this is going to be a bit of a relief for them, especially for their brush fire warnings. If you're in the area, you're going to want to be careful with all those travel delays because roads are going to be slippery. If you go ahead and look at our next map, you can see that in northern portions of Iowa, stretching all the way into the western part of the Great Lakes, they are going to be experiencing some blizzard-like conditions. They're expecting up to a foot of snow going from Thursday into Friday. If you're in the area, you're going to want to be careful because they are going to have some icy roads and it is going to be a bit dangerous. You're going to want to break out those heavy blankets and jackets because it is going to be a bit chilly. That's all I have right now for your national forecast. I'll be back after the break with your New Mexico temperatures.
Welcome to an exciting new season of New Scandinavian Cooking,
the international cooking series that explores Scandinavian cuisine, culture, and history.
Thursday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG.
On Masterpiece.
It is incumbent upon Your Majesty to nominate a regent.
If the Queen dies, are we to be ruled by a German?
If I wish to bring railways to the attention of the English people, then I shall do it myself.
Victoria on Masterpiece.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
When I decided to speak, I had a lot to say.
Singer, dancer, activist, poet, and writer Maya Angelou takes us on an intimate journey through her life and our world.
For the caged bird sings of freedom.
She was big, and she had the voice of God.
I am your mother, I'm your auntie, I'm your teacher.
Meet the extraordinary Maya Angelou.
And still, I rise.
On American Masters.
Friday at 9 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Welcome back, everyone. So we are going to take a look at temperatures around New Mexico. Right now, Farmington is at 55, Santa Fe at 55 as well, Albuquerque at 62, Socorro at 65, down in Roswell being the warmest at 74, here in Las Cruces 64, as well as in Deming. Our temperatures for tomorrow are going to be warming up a bit. Farmington going up to 65, Albuquerque at 68, Clovis at a high 80, Roswell down at 85, here in Las Cruces at 76, and Deming at 77. If you go ahead and look at cities closer to Las Cruces, tonight they're expecting a low of 44 degrees with clear skies. Tomorrow the clear skies are going to continue with a high of 76. Here in Las Cruces, we're expecting a low tonight of 40 degrees with some clear skies, and tomorrow a high of 76. And that's all I have right now for your New Mexico temperatures. I'll be back later with your 5-day forecast.
A celebrity has set up a new public art exhibit in Albuquerque.
That's the first story in tonight's Southwest Minute.
Shia LaBeouf aims to unite New Mexicans with a public art exhibit called He Will Not Divide Us, urging people to take a stand against President Donald Trump. He and two artists first displayed their work in New York City. It's a web camera where anyone passing by can speak their mind. LaBeouf was arrested while in New York, and after many altercations, the museum displaying the work said he was no longer welcome. For the remainder of President Trump's term, the art will be in Albuquerque at the El Rey Theater. A fire at Rabbit Mountain in Boulder County, Colorado started yesterday evening. The fire started as a 1-acre blaze but burned about 50 acres in nearly 2 hours. 75 homes were evacuated. 3 buildings were destroyed. A Jewish community center in Houston is one of the latest to receive a bomb threat. The center was evacuated and police swept the area with bomb-sniffing dogs but didn't find anything suspicious. This bomb threat was not unique. The Jewish Community Center Association of North America says at least 10 Jewish community centers received bomb threats on Monday. This is Yvonne Del Rio with Southwest Minute.
5 seniors on NMSU women's basketball team are sure going to be missed.
And Faith Shafani is next with sports.
Thanks, Andreas. Coming up in sports, we'll take a look at how the Aggies baseball team did in their opening series this weekend. Don't lose faith because NEWS22 Sports is next.
In their final night of great performances in Paris, New York City Ballet dances 2 Balanchine classics, Ravel's Sonatine and Bizet's Symphony in C. Hosted by Ballet Master-in-Chief Peter Martins. Expect to be dazzled when New York City Ballet Symphony in C comes to great performances.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Coming up on Austin City Limits.
Where your grandma stay? This mad city and Paris all gather home. They probably got me down by the in that song. Seem like the whole city going against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear ja.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG TV.
This is KRWG TV NEWS22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Faith Shafani, and let's talk sports. The NMSU softball team is now 4-4 after losing the final game of the Troy Cox Classic in a shutout to number 15 Tennessee on Monday. The Aggies were looking to tie the game at the bottom of the first, but were unable to get their offense going. After getting off to a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first, Tennessee won the game 9-0 in 5 innings. The Volunteers remain undefeated at 10-0. This week, the Aggies will be traveling to Palm Springs, California to take on number 8 LSU for the Mary Nutter Classic on Thursday. The NMSU baseball season is off to a good start after the team split their opening series against the Bryant Bulldogs 2-2. The Aggies dropped their games 6-3 on Friday and then split the doubleheader on Saturday. They then finished off the weekend with an incredible 20-7 victory against the Bulldogs on Sunday. The team traveled to Lubbock today to play number 21 Texas Tech, but lost 16-1. The Aggies will return home to take on Mount St. Mary's in a 4-game set beginning on Friday. It was a night full of emotions in the Pan Am as 5 of NMSU's very own stepped out onto the court for the last time. Saturday's game was dedicated to the 5 seniors. NEWS22's Crystal Corrales has the story.
Yeah!
Head coach Mark Track couldn't keep his excitement off the sidelines as he called for a timeout to give some of the last home game instructions to his 5 seniors. For the 5 seniors, it was a bittersweet night. They won the game, but they'll never again walk onto the court of the Pan Am as a team.
These girls have been a part of my family for the past 4 years, and I've been with them 24/7 for 4 years now, and it's gonna be a little sad not seeing them every day.
The experience of the seniors has paid off, winning back-to-back WAC titles in the past 2 seasons. This year, they're number 1 in the conference with a 12-game winning streak.
We've had five seniors that have really done a good job, so we're doing what we need to do.
The winning streak is not the only milestone. Senior guard Mariah Mack was last week's Player of the Week. She scored more than 1,000 points in her 4 years as an Aggie and hopes what she's helped build will last for a long time.
I just want them to know to, continue building the legacy. I love playing here, I love playing with them, and I'm going to miss playing with them.
And for parents of little girls, this team is special.
Their favorite, of course, is to come see the women play. So we favor them over the boys. So it's fun. It's fun to be here.
For the seniors, the season has been a step along the way to even better things. Tamara William won't be on the court next season, but she'll be on campus to continue her studies.
I'll still be here. And then after, we'll see. I might get coached, I might go overseas. We don't know yet. Whatever opens up, we'll see.
All 5 seniors were on the court together when the final buzzer sounded. It was then they could hug one another and accept the congratulations of all those who supported them along the way. For NEWS22, Cristal Corrales.
And tonight's Play of the Day is brought to you by the NBA.
Rebounded by Durant. Curry puts off the boards for Davis.
Why not? Put up 50 in the All.
And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on NEWS22, Selena will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
On the next KRWG Music Spotlight. Local group Damn Union.
Saturday at 10 p.m. on KRWG TV.
On Masterpiece.
We must get married as soon as possible.
This is the moment to settle your title and allowance.
I think I would like my wedding dress to be white.
Sorry to say, this may not be a popular match.
We cannot have Germans running the country!
Victoria on Masterpiece.
Sunday at 7 p.m. on KRWG TV.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me in Bulgaria, where we'll trace the country's complex history. From ancient Thracian tombs and medieval mountain monasteries to remote monuments to communism. And we'll also enjoy the contemporary culture found in its cities, from bustling Sofia to cosmopolitan Plovdiv to atmospheric Velika Tarnovo.
Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Let's take a look at our top stories. The U.S. Catholic Archbishop are uniting to get rid of Santa Muerte. Jimena Tapia told us the story of a young NMSU student who is worried she'll be deported. And we took a look back at the career of the 5 NMSU women's basketball seniors.
A Ferrari formerly owned by President Trump is hitting the auction block next month. Trump's former car could be worth up to $350,000. The 2007 Ferrari was purchased by Trump in 2007 when he was about 60 years old. However, he didn't drive it much. He sold it in 2011, putting a little over 2,400 miles on it. So, can you tell us about the next 5 days? What's the weather looking like?
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be staying a bit warm. So going into tomorrow, we're going to be looking at a high of 76 degrees, which is going to be our warmest for the next 5 days. Then we're going to be getting a bit cooler into Friday at 61 and back up to the 70s on Sunday on Sunday. But I'm pretty excited about it.
That's good. We're definitely not going to be seeing a lot more rain. It's been overcast this past few days.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of nice that we get to wear shorts tomorrow.
I know, and it's going to be really sunny, so That's exciting.
So these next 5 days are looking pretty good. That's all for NEWS22 today. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night as we
bring back more breaking news. I'm Selena Madrid.
I'm Andres Valle.
And I'm Selena Quintana.
Good night.